Picture this. You're at a party. Everyone's laughing at the same joke, nodding along to the same conversation, and you're standing there thinking, am I the only one who finds this incredibly hollow? Congratulations, you might just be cosmically wired to be a lone wolf. See, some people think being a loner means you're broken. But what if I told you that certain zodiac signs are literally built by the universe to reject the herd mentality? That their souls came with a do not follow sign stamped right into their cosmic blueprint. I'm not talking about your garden variety introverts or people who just need alone time. I'm talking about signs whose very existence is an act of rebellion against conformity. Signs that would rather eat glass than pretend to be someone they're not. Welcome to the shadow side of astrology, where we don't just read your horoscope, we dissect your soul. If you're ready to discover why some signs are destined to walk alone and why that's actually their superpower, then you're in the right place. Let's get one thing straight. We're not talking about people who can't make friends. We're talking about signs with such a strong internal compass that following others feels like spiritual death. These are the signs that smell bullshit from 3 dimensions away. They're the ones who ask why when everyone else is asking how much. They're wired to question everything, trust no one blindly, and forge paths that don't exist on any map. The universe created these signs to be the contrarians, the system breakers, the ones who say no when everyone else is saying yes. And honestly, society needs them more than it wants to admit. First up, Aquarius. And before you say, but Aquarians are social, stop. You're confusing networking with belonging. Aquarians don't join groups. They study them like anthropologists studying a foreign tribe. Ruled by Uranus, the planet that literally spins sideways, Aquarians are cosmically programmed to see everything from a different angle. They're not trying to be weird. They genuinely don't understand why everyone else is so normal. Here's what nobody tells you about Aquarians. They're probably the loneliest sign in the zodiac, and they're completely okay with that. They've accepted that their frequency doesn't match most people's, so they've learned to be their own best friend. An Aquarius once told me, I don't feel lonely when I'm alone. I feel lonely when I'm surrounded by people who don't understand that we're all just stardust, pretending to be separate. That's not depression talking. That's cosmic awareness. They'll ghost an entire friend group if it means staying true to their vision. They'll sacrifice popularity for authenticity every single time. And while everyone else is playing follow the leader, Aquarius is busy designing the future. Now let's talk about Scorpio, the sign that makes everyone else uncomfortable just by existing. Scorpios don't avoid the crowd because they're antisocial. They avoid it because they can see everyone's secrets. And frankly, most people's secrets are boring. Ruled by Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, Scorpios are constantly dying and being reborn. They're like cosmic phoenixes, and you can't rise from ashes in a crowd. You need solitude for that level of transformation. Here's what makes Scorpios truly dangerous as lone wolves. They don't just observe people, they dissect them. They see your motivations, your fears, your lies. And once they've seen your truth, they can't unsee it. A Scorpio friend once told me, I realized I was an alien when I was 5 and everyone was excited about Christmas morning. But all I could think about was why we needed material objects to feel loved. That's Scorpio energy. They're asking the questions that make everyone else squirm. But here's the thing about Scorpios. They don't fear the dark because they are the dark. They've made friends with their shadows, and that makes them incredibly powerful. While other signs run from difficult truths, Scorpios dive deeper. Capricorn is the sign that figured out early that success is a solo journey. They're not unfriendly. They're just allergic to mediocrity. And, unfortunately, mediocrity loves company. Ruled by Saturn, the cosmic taskmaster, Capricorns have this weird relationship with time. They see decades where others see moments. They're playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Here's what people don't understand about Capricorns. They're not cold. They're just incredibly selective with their energy. They've calculated that small talk is a waste of time. Networking events are performative theater, and most people's dreams are just comfortable lies. I know a Capricorn who missed her own birthday party because she was working on a project that would launch her career. When people called her selfish, she said, "I'd rather be selfish and successful than selfless and forgotten." That's Capricorn truth, harsh but effective. Capricorns understand something most people don't. The summit is always lonely. They're not trying to be antisocial. They're just not interested in base camp when they could be conquering peaks. Virgo is the sign that sees the matrix, and it's driving them absolutely insane. They notice every flaw, every inconsistency, every way things could be better. And because they can't turn off this cosmic quality control system, they often feel like they're living in a different reality. Mercury rules Virgo, giving them this incredible ability to analyze and categorize everything. But here's the curse. They can't enjoy anything without simultaneously seeing how it could be improved. Virgos don't choose solitude. They're driven to it. They retreat not because they hate people, but because they need space to organize the chaos that everyone else seems comfortable living in. A Virgo once told me, "I stopped going to restaurants because I can see the health code violations, stopped watching movies because I notice the plot holes, and stopped dating because I can see people's potential but they can't see it themselves." That's the Virgo curse, perfection in an imperfect world. But here's the beautiful tragedy of Virgo. They're alone because they care too much. They're the cosmic editors, trying to fix a world that doesn't want to be fixed. Aries doesn't follow the crowd because they're too busy sprinting ahead of it. Ruled by Mars, the planet of war and action, they're cosmically programmed to charge first and ask questions later. Here's what makes Aries a lone wolf. They'd rather fail spectacularly on their own than succeed as part of someone else's vision. They're not team players, they're team creators. Aries has this almost violent need for authenticity. They can't pretend to be interested in things that bore them, can't fake enthusiasm for other people's dreams, and absolutely cannot tolerate being told what to do. An Aries entrepreneur once told me, "I've burned so many bridges that I've become an expert at building boats." That's Aries energy. They're not afraid of being alone because they're confident in their ability to create their own path. While other signs are still debating whether to take the leap, Aries is already building their wings on the way down. They're the cosmic pioneers, and pioneers are always alone, at least until everyone else catches up. Now let's talk about the part-time lone wolves, signs that have moments of cosmic isolation but haven't fully committed to the outsider life. Gemini becomes a lone wolf when they're trapped in their own mind. They'll disappear into research rabbit holes, emerging days later with theories that sound like they came from another dimension. Sagittarius is a lone wolf with a backpack. They love people, but they love truth more. And sometimes the truth can only be found in solitude, preferably on a mountain in Tibet. And Pisces becomes a lone wolf when the world gets too harsh for their sensitive soul. They retreat into their imagination, where they can create worlds that actually make sense. So there you have it, the cosmic outcasts, the signs that came into this world with a built-in allergy to conformity. These aren't broken people trying to be fixed. These are essential forces of nature, designed to question, challenge, and ultimately evolve human consciousness. If you're one of these signs, stop apologizing for who you are. The world needs people who are willing to stand alone, who trust their inner voice more than the crowd's applause, who choose authenticity over acceptance. Which lone wolf resonated with your soul? Are you cosmically wired to walk alone? Or do you know someone who is? Drop a comment and let me know. I read every single one because, honestly, the comment section is where the real truth lives. Remember, the universe didn't make you a lone wolf to punish you. It made you a lone wolf to lead the pack when everyone else gets lost. Until next time.